Case is expected to apply for bail at the Witbank Magistrates Court this morning. It follows the killing of 13-year-old Gabisile Shabani, who was living with albinism, and her 1-year-old cousin, Nkosikhona Ngwenya. They were kidnapped at their home in Vosman, Witbank in January this year. For more on the story, let's cross over to SABC reporter Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni, who's been following the story since it broke. Sibongile, good morning to you. Last week there was a really, I remember crossing to you, and there was a exceptionally heavy police presence outside of the court. Today, is it very much so the same?
Yes, pretty much the same, Leanne. The roads are still cordoned off. We have traffic officials. They've added security. I see a security van as well with security personnel. But in terms of SAPS, they are on the other streets at the back of the court. If you remember last week, just before 9 o'clock when the court started, community members came and broke down the barricades and wanted to come through. We haven't seen the barbed wire today. Thinking maybe they're still coming with that, but the roads are still cordoned off coming into the court.
Wow. Let's talk about bail conditions. Any idea if they'll be granted?
I doubt very much if the second suspect will be granted bail. If last week's judgment is anything to go by, the Sangoma applied for bail last week, stating his reasons, and the magistrate said that the case was very serious. The outrage by the community, the manner in which the child with albinism died, as during the prosecutor told the court of how the child was chopped off, her body chopped off, her body parts, some taken to Swaziland, and they were traveling in the car with the body parts in a bucket. So quite gruesome details of how this killing and barbaric acts were committed. I doubt that the second suspect will get bail. The first one didn't get bail. The magistrate said definitely not, and he was kept inside. With this one, we understand that he was arrested just 2 weeks ago with another man who has since turned state witness. This one, the lawyer for the Sangoma said he could not represent him because there were conflict of interest, meaning that he was implicating the Sangoma. So we are expecting more gory details as to what transpired during the kidnapping and the killing and the burial, because remember that the child with albinism was buried in a shallow grave where her body was found with some of the body parts missing. I doubt very much that he will be granted bail.
Sibongile, it's one of the most horrific stories now, and I think one of the sad parts about this is that the issue of the DNA testing is still outstanding, and I mean this is really something that is preventing the children from actually being buried. What is the update there?
Yes, when I spoke to Brigadier Leonard Tlati, the spokesperson for the police, yesterday, asking about the DNA, he's saying that you must remember that the one body was found in next to Pretoria, meaning that that case belongs to Gauteng police. They are conducting that case there, and then the one body was found on the N4 on the Mpumalanga side. That is the 1-year-old, and there are body parts that we heard in courts that are in Swaziland. So they are trying to get those body parts from Swaziland to this side, as well as getting the DNA to match, to completely identify that these are indeed these children that were missing. We know that the parents are confident that it's them, the description matches the bodies that were found, but that's what he said was delaying the process. But he said today they will be here in court. He will give me an update as to what happens, because they've combined the two investigations from the two provinces, and they will go to forensic where the DNA is being conducted to sort of try and speed up the process so that the families can get closure in terms of burial.
Oh, Sibongile, thank you very much for the update. Sibongile Mkani-Mpolweni in Witbank there, talking to us from the Magistrates Court in Mpumalanga. What a devastating story. All right, let's on that note go